job's a good one. We have successfully rolled the E24 over. So now we're going to move on to this underside and strip the remaining items. This is Matt Armstrong's E24. If you've not watched the previous video of us flipping it over and getting it on the rotisserie, the link is down in the description below. But for this episode, we're going to concentrate on these two jacking points. Right, so I've taken most of the under seal off, and you can definitely see the lack of steel that's in this area. Now I need to cut all of this section out and rebuild it. But before I do that, and before you do any cutting, you need to make sure that there's nothing on the other side that you're going to damage. Now there is a wiring loom that's just on this sill, on this inner section on the inside of the car, that I actually need to remove so I don't melt it or cut through it. So I'll jump on the inside of the car and remove that, then I'll start cutting this section out and refabbing that. Right, so this section here is actually made out of 5 different pieces. Now, I've got all the pieces here, which you just saw me make. Now, I've set myself a challenge and I want to make all of these into this off of the car. So then I can just offer it up like that and weld it in like that, because that's quite satisfying to do that, to be honest. So what I need to do is I need to mark out what panels are going to be lapped, and then I need to prime those panels just so they're nice and protected. So I'll drill some holes in these first. I'll then prime it, I'll mark it out, prime it, and then start hopefully tacking it on. Now, I'm going to tack things into here, so then I can position everything correctly, but then I'm going to take those tacks off, weld it in correctly, weld it all together correctly, and then I can obviously, job's a good one. Right, I'm quite happy with how that's turned out, to be fair. What I do want to do is I want to take this back off as one piece and then weld it within itself, so it's nice and strong. But that'll also give me access to put these 2 pieces in as well. So this piece goes in there, and this piece actually slips between all of these. But I want to get access in there to weld it up from the outside. So I'm going to cut through these welds, take this off, weld this section in, weld that section in, and then I can finally put that section back in, get it welded and get it done. This is looking 500,063 times better. So the old panel here, new panel, I've just placed it in there. I do have, like I say before, these 2 panels to put in, so I can get access in through here to weld this panel and weld this panel here, and then I can place this nicely onto there and get that welded in. But first I do need to continue welding this. I need to continue welding all the bottom here, all the seams and things like that, just to make sure that it's fully complete, and then I can pop it in there and weld it in. Right, so now I've got that panel finally welded in, we're going to concentrate on this lower sill section and this area here. So I'm going to do exactly what I've done before in a previous episode. I want to clean this up, I'm going to make a panel, and then I can weld that in, and then I'm going to cut this sill out here and see exactly what's behind there. Right, I've cleaned the underside of this up. Now, during this process, I've actually picked up a couple of decorations. Now, I kind of didn't know where to stop, so I just kept going and got a little bit carried away. It's kind of like colouring, you know, a colouring book, but all you uncover is misery. And in this case, we've actually uncovered more misery because there's more rust. So I'm going to concentrate on this area here. Now, I need to grind this out and make it nice and round, and then I can fabricate a piece to go in here, and then I can tack it in, fully weld it in, and that should be this complete. Then I can move on to this sill.